Greetings, my friends. I am Gilles Mancillon. I am here to to come back to speak about transcendental psychology, to comment on some aspect of the inner transformation. For a lot of people are awakening to this immortal, eternal part of themselves. It is coming down slowly but surely. It is awakening at our own. At the pace of our soul, our own flow. I'm going to discuss a few ideas. Thank you not to forget to subscribe. I thank you for your likes, for sharing, for commenting, as well as for your donations. If you want a private consultation, you can send me an email and continue to cultivate your sense of well-being. It's very important. I thank you for all your participation. Every time we move towards the state of joy and integration and acceptation of all that is, the faster it assists all of us. Discuss a little bit of that below. I want to talk about the increasing power of intention. Intention is very settled. Whatever we do inside, our intention is really what guides the flow. We can connect to something from our intention on a settled level, but we can disconnect to something on a settled level, and that shifts the whole energy plane. So intentions are very powerful. It's very important to continue to keep our intention clear about what is wanted, joy, love. Aristotle used to think that we cannot judge someone by his intention. We can only judge by his action, and of course that is true on a human level. Yet on a criminal level, when there is something that's made with premeditation, it's like it's an aggravating factor. So we're taking intention into account. But our intention should be about truth, beauty, and goodness. It is important to have the intention to elevate the quality of our life and to do good around us. Keep our intention clear in relationship to that. There is a book I recommend for about this revelation of truth, beauty, and goodness. It's the first. It is the value of the supremacy. It's the value of the Christ as well. But there is a book that's called The Republic of Plato. Plato anchors all those values within that book. It's a book that he wrote at the end of his life. It's a very, very powerful book. And I think every politician should at least read at least once this book. It discusses many models of society. For right now, we live in a society that's oligarcho-plutocratic. Plutocratic means money is everything, and oligarcho, that is ruled by a few. Plato discussed the idea of oligarchy, but he does not discuss plutocracy in his book on the model of society, because he believed that a society where money would be everything would be too much suffering for everybody. So he doesn't even discuss it. Then comes Aristotle that creates economy and they just say money is everything. So we're kind of bound to that until the world will be free from that. But in this book, Plato discusses different models of society, where he says that tyranny is the worst model of society, and the republic, the meritocracy, the rule of wisdom, is the highest model because it cannot be corrupted. Yet democracy can also lead to tyranny. If there's many examples of that. So I just wanted to say that to keep your intention clear, to cultivate your truth, your beauty, and your goodness as well, and those things are very valuable. For it's like everything is spirit sees everything from the world of spirit. They see everything from the realm of energy. It's not the matter that counts; it's the energy. So that's why it's very difficult to place. They won't reveal dates on how significant event, even if there's certainties. The dates will only come when the energy is within the flow of what is needed. I wanted to discuss to offer an exercise to inspire you to utilize the eye of God. Once the eye of our mind, our third eye open, we are able to see what is coming. We are able to see in the past, see in the future, see all kinds of things about the universal law. There is all kinds of things to be able to see the relationship between cause and effect, when the level of wisdom of every being, all kinds of things. But in order to, when we see the eyes of God, on the higher planes, when people want to know, the beings that live on the higher planes want to know how something will happen, they take that thing, that idea, that concept, that reality, that desire, and they move it through the eye of God, and we see where it is going, because the will of God is what prevails in the universe. People on the higher planes know that. So if you want to utilize that, you can. There's many ways to access that eye of God. But there are many beings that can assist you with that. And there is one being that's called Cyclopea. It's a Elohim. To invoke that divinity, you close your eyes and you imagine a bright golden sun, and the sun at some point you call on Cyclopea, and you will see there is the sun. There is an eye that opens within the sun. The sun turns into this big eye, the eye of Cyclopea, and then you ask Cyclopea to you give Cyclopea your desire, your query, and then you will see what is returned, and then you thank her, and then the eye closed, and you can return to your consciousness. But it's an exercise that for we have to understand that all is one thing. There is no, in truth, there is only one thing, one life, one truth, one point of freedom. Everything is not more or less than one. Everything is one. But we've been programmed in this reality to see things as separate, to put on label, the high, the low, the hierarchies, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The everything is separated. But in truth, it's only one. Huh? And so it's like although we can see that we can sometimes we see that something that is more than one or less than one, depending on our perspective. But everything that's more than one is less than one, because the one is all that is. For it is all about knowing. This is a knowing and very important information, something to know. But then we need to integrate it and to embody it. For in truth, the ego is only a mask that we wear temporarily. For our true identity is the I am presence, the voice of our soul. And so this is. I see that the replicators was talking about technologies. I didn't say that in my French video, but Spirit was talking to me about the replicators. It's very advanced technologies that will soon come. That will solve a lot of problems in this world. Maybe I'll speak about it more in another video. For all the separation of the world are only held in reality. They're just temporary, but they're held in the reality of consciousness and experience because of beliefs. And there is a collective belief that all is separated. Therefore, life will continue to show themselves as something separate. But in truth, we have to reconnect with the unity program of the one, and so I'm very eager to see the finalization of the reset of the financial and monetary systems. I think it's going to be. It was supposed to happen in 2001, but the dark forces created delays, and. So, but this will happen. I think that the moving from lack to abundance. Before we can get rid of the money altogether, we need to move the consciousness from lack and scarcity to abundance and prosperity. So it's going to be a whole time of transition. But it's very exhausting to take care of all the 3D needs of others. We do no longer have the time for that. Very important. It's already a lot of work to respond to the inner demands of our soul and our higher self. We have to understand the divine reality of the Creator never change. It is supported by the divine law. All the beings that live within the divine law of one live in a permanent state of reality. Plato once again talked about that in the world of ideas, when he said we're just a lower projection of something that is originally perfect. You could see that. He was wise. He was very, very powerful, essential philosophers. And very easy to read and approach, not like Kant or Spinoza or like very intellectually. Plato is I recommend it. You can do audiobooks. It is very approachable, very understandable. Socratic messages. For the divine reality never changed. But here we have been evolving outside of the divine law for millennium. So there is all kinds of flows and reality that was created from the base of separation and domination, the law of the fittest. This law that is we're on top of the food chain, so whoever's on top of the food chain has the right to abuse all that is below. So this is part of the illusions of separation. The law is to do unto other. What we do to one, we do to all and to ourselves. And what we do to... So it's like if we do good to anyone, it's like we're doing good to all of life and to ourselves. But if we hurt anybody, we're hurting everyone and ourselves. So it's important also that divine justice may be reestablished, because when we do not punish the the bad, then we're hurting the good in many ways. And so it's but we've been creating that, and for even when we look at the past, we have to be with no judgment, because we will come to realize that we had many incarnations in the past, but the condition of life and consciousness were very different. We're exploring very different themes. So it's like, do not blame life for the process of evolution, or the colonization, or the horrors of wars, all those things. It's horrible, but it was part of the evolution process. So now we need to make a blank canvas and move on to something else in the unity of the love of the one. So forgive yourself and others for all the past. Because every time we move into love and unity and forgiveness, we and unity, we are assisting in the dissolution of the matrix of illusions for the greater whole. And realizing the soul, people are really holding on to, like, even in science fiction, they don't have the understanding. It's like they're very advanced technologically, or very imaginative in their project, in their prospect, in their story they tell, but they do not know the soul is immortal. For the life is precious. You don't have the right to take the life of someone else. Yet the soul is immortal. Even animals have immortal soul. Everybody will continue to grow and learn. It's not like because we live this physical life, we're escaping we will still have to deal with all the consequences of what of all that we've created during the lifetime. It was Marcus Aurelius or Dante that they were discussing the idea that whatever we create in time, we will harvest in eternity. So just keep on the balance. There is and forgiveness is very, very powerful. For the soul is immortal in reality. And do whatever you are called to do. Whatever you are called to do, what is your passion, your joy, do what is due with the intention of serving the awakening, of course, and serving your highest good and the highest good of all. For we are the producer of all of life in reality. We have to regain the responsibility of the sovereignty, and to be assumed the responsibility of our own creation. It's like a love story. When the cause will be only love, the effect will be only love. But since we've been creating from fear and traumas and wounded position, we've created wounded experiences. Now we start changing. It is healing. Whatever comes up into your consciousness, it is receive it with love and invoke the Creator, your source, and then you will see it will heal. Your fear are yours. Just own your fears, and then they will be transcended. Trust, have faith. And so life is your own projection. Because on paradise, the mind and spirit, matter and spirit are aligned. So the mind, there is no need for mind. But when mind, spirit, and matter are so separated, the mind has to intervene to regain, to try to reunite the perfection of spirit and the imperfection of matter. But eventually we're bringing this alignment through the vertical axis. And there is a very powerful power that we forgot we have, is the power to forget. First, we have to forgive, and then we have the power to forget. The power to forget is very important, to forget the past, to forget the fear, to forget the trauma, to forget the judgment, to forget all kinds of things. When the Buddha enters the Nirvana, he forgot about all the experiences, the illusionary experience of time and space that led him to his freedom in order to embrace the higher plane. So it is very important to know that we have this power, and so there is, and very soon all the struggle and the fear and not the fear necessarily, but the struggle and the pain and all that we traverse in the fourth dimension to reach that place of freedom and joy and abundance and prosperity will soon feel like a distant memory. It will feel like a past life, something we've integrated, but we'll feel so at home in the new energies that are coming, that will be our reality. And we'll consider all the past just as something of valuable lessons that we've been through that led us to our freedom. So it is important to also know that we have soul plans, and those soul plans are some things that are important. Those are the energies that we are reminded from our soul, from our guides, from the spirit realm. We are being reminded that certain things are important, that we need to but they're held in frequency by the soul, so we shouldn't worry too much. But we need to align with our soul plan, our mission here, our mission on the planet, what we came here, we incarnated for. There is this, we are remembering, awakening to that, and what is our service to this planet, to humanity, and to life, and what is our destiny. And through that we're realizing that it was something that every being has the divine light of God within themselves, even the dark ones. It's just God has obstructed their consciousness, so they do not know, and they're playing a game. And then they will have to harvest the consequences of their action, although they do not know it. If they knew that, for young souls, when they come into this realm of impure realm of matter, they get attracted by the darkness, and then they create dark things, and then eventually they pay the karma. And then, as the soul matures, they paying karma, and they're still going back into the light of love and forgiveness, and eventually they find the freedom. It is a path of evolution that the Creator has created. So just see that, know that there is a light, the divine light of God within every being, whether they are dark or light. Yet we do not want to lose too much time. We cannot exhaust ourselves fulfilling the needs of lower beings. It's not we're here for. We have to learn to say no to certain things. And so it's important to be self-determined, to move towards greater love and greater wisdom. For there is two distinct human species right now. There is those who have good heart, and those who are behaving like human, like they're not humans. They're behaving like animals. They're cruel. They're insensitive, and all of that is a different species. And it's the separation of the timeline in fourth dimension that will eventually lead to a final determination of the soul direction. But there is definitely two different. There is all the timeline of gloom and doom, and the timeline of hope and faith. So just even if you're sometimes drawn back, there is no more time for waiting or shifting between the two. We have to know, once it's anchored, we do not have a choice. The choice is made. It's not, we do not have a choice. When something is crystallized on the soul plan, we have to accept that sooner or later it's going to manifest, and we have no choice. We have to embrace our destiny. And that is integration, a partnership between our lower self and higher self. But it's not about glorifying the lower self, the ego self. It's about recognizing the glory of the higher self, of our divinity. And I am presence is our only true identity. So we're getting closer to this great cosmic event, the solar flash. When you look at the sun, no, it is a conscious being. You can communicate with it. You can talk to him. It's a very, very powerful divine entity. It's the guardian of the collective soul. The soul is just as brilliant as the sun. So it's very, very important to realize it is a friendly neighbor, and continue to cultivate that connection, and to thank the sun for the warmth, for the light, we use the golden light or the violet light to transmute all kinds of blockages that could be unnecessary. And when the solar flash comes, I see there may be a breaking up of all internet. For there used to be a time that the young people do not know that there was no internet and there was no cell phone, and we lived very well. Maybe the quality of life was higher than it is today. I'm not saying that there is not value in having those subjects and things, but I see that no matter where I go, I see that people are completely hypnotized within those devices. And so it would be good for like a few days that all of those would be turned off, so people will have no choice but to recenter. Maybe this would not be popular and like for internet companies, but just for a few days, I think it would be good. For it's like right now everything has been crystallized. The soul plan, the destiny is already sealed. The soul have already decided whether they're going to ascend or not, depending on their level of what they chose to explore. So just be in acceptation, and the amor fati of Frederick Nietzsche. Embrace your fate, your destiny. Accept that, and we're getting closer to this solstice. this solstice that will bring the longest day, the longest night. It will bring a great deal of harmonization and integration and a lot of wonderful things. And when you understand your I am presence, continue to use the I am. The I am, the voice of your I am is the voice of your soul. It is your divinity, and it is your only true identity. The mask of the ego will drop. The doubt, the fear, all of that is part of the process of the human process, but it is not the truth of who you are. You are a divine being of eternal light and glory, created by an infinite creator. So the association between the human and the divine is glorious, and God accepts and knows all our limitation and weakness, and assist us and guide us towards looking for strength within our weakness, to looking for love within our fear. So all of that, so we can integrate it. It's an ongoing process. But let us be in gratitude and for this elevation of the whole planet and for humanity and for our own life that is about to change. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I thank you for your service to the planet, to humanity, and to the Creator. I thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And I thank you so much for your donations. I have this song that goes through my head, but I'm not feeling ready to sing it just yet, so we'll sing it next time. I'm going to pull a few cards to see what the card of the day is to be attuned to your intuition, to be the message in the bottles, to see the signs, to trust the signs, to trust that you are being guided. The higher wisdom is the gathering of the soul tribe. It's like people that we know and people we don't know, that we're going to come together as friends, for friends and family, the soul connections that people we can co-create together, micro communities. It's like there is all this tribe. We need to get together with our tribe, so we're going to co-create, and it's going to accelerate the whole process and bring a lot of understanding and light and joy and freedom. There is whole of humanity is awakening in truth. There is still a lot of polarized beings playing roles in the illusions that we've created. That for the awakening, it has to come step by step. And that's why it's like what we need to understand is the yin, to allow things to unfold naturally. For things come to you. It's like it all come from within, when an understanding, a wisdom, a power, a knowledge, a truth is you're ready to receive it. Your spirit will reveal it to you. So it's like we're really moving back into this into our awakening to our sovereign integral self. For what we need to do is may the truth be to continue to align with our highest truth. The highest truth we can accept. There is always a higher truth to integrate, but to be sincere. When you pray, is to be honest. That's the key. You don't need a religion. You don't need a priest. You don't need anything. You just need to be sincere. To be sincere, and then the prayer will be your prayer will be answered, and the outcome will be about the tribe. It's the co-creation. We're all co-creating. We're co-creating right now. We're going to be co-creating together. There is all kinds of wonderful gifts that are coming. And we're going to receive them in humility and gratitude. We are ready to embrace our faith, embrace our destiny, amor fati. Well, my friends, I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much. It's Friday the 13th, lucky day today. And I'll talk to you later. Namaste.